Thank you for joining me. I'm making a change to the format of these videos. It means I won't be so restricted on time, but I am endeavouring to keep these teaching videos succinct. Today, treasures in heaven. Jesus' Sermon on the Mount includes some pretty enigmatic material, concepts that make me scratch my head. It's not that Jesus speaks in a secret code, but rather that Jesus just wasn't talking our language because we were not his audience. But that doesn't mean his message isn't for us. Of course it is. Jesus offers eternal joy as well as joy and peace in this troubled life. And the good news is that it's available to all of us. Here's a section from Jesus' teaching on the Mount. I'll try and put the words on the screen below. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 to 24. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Well, I hope you recognise some of that scripture. And who wouldn't want treasures in heaven? I'm sure we all would. That's not really our problem. Our problem, the same in Jesus' day as now, is that we want treasures on earth. Even when we know that they won't last, and even when we know that they won't give the meaning and the satisfaction to our lives that we desire. We want treasures now. All the time we're being made false promises. For example, take car adverts. Time after time we're shown less of the car and more of an associated lifestyle. Have you noticed the car is never driven on a traffic-filled commute, but rather along sweeping country coastal roads in the most glorious weather when there's no one else about? And very recently I've been targeted by an ad for a biscuit, just a biscuit, and it promises that positive energy starts here. I mean, does it really? But we buy into the dream. Sometimes the lifestyle of a car or even from a biscuit. The temporary things of this world in our dream will bring us the kind of life we so desperately desire, even though we've trodden this path before and found it leads to a dead end. My task in these videos is to encourage all of us, and I do speak to myself, to follow the advice of Jesus. And Jesus is always explaining the manual from the Creator himself for living the best human life. Jesus says, don't do it. Don't store up earthly treasures. They don't last. They don't satisfy. But rather, put your effort into storing up heavenly treasures. Jesus didn't say reject and remove all earthly treasures from your life. That's a mistake that many have made. So much of what might be called an earthly treasure, actually they are in fact gifts from God for us to enjoy. Jesus wants us to have a full life, but don't let those earthly pleasures and pursuits become your goal in life. Jesus says put your emphasis, make it your priority, really go after heavenly treasures. And here's where today's audience isn't up to speed with the audience that Jesus had. Those people knew what Jesus meant by heavenly treasures, and I'm not sure that today's generation do at all. Fortunately, the Bible is full of the teaching of Jesus and of others that's going to point us in the right direction, and I'll pick this up further in future videos. I'll try and make it the thrust of the next video if I can. But let's go back to our passage from Jesus' sermon in Matthew 6. Jesus speaks about the human condition and he points out where we're going wrong. Listen to this. When Jesus talks about the eye as a lamp, he already knows that light does not emit from the eye, but rather he's explaining that what we look at, what we focus on, that's going to impact our heart desires. No wonder that those car advertisements are full of rich images. Those biscuit adverts, they only ever use the young and healthy actors with Hollywood smiles. Our eyes are leading us astray away from heaven and towards a worldly treasure trove that will never suffice. Because it's easier to pursue what we can see rather than that in heaven, which we can't. Look, imagine that what you look at is really appealing to your greed, to your selfishness. That is how a lot of modern advertising works. But of course, it's not just advertising. Who doesn't look at their colleagues, their neighbours, or at celebrities and covet what they have? Jesus knows this. He knows that all of us are driven by our envy, our falsehood, our pride. And he wants to free us from this. Now, here's the good news. Jesus offers us freedom from this desire to get the unhealthy, unsatisfactory things that the world offers. What Jesus is offering is of greater value than anything that we've ever seen or heard about that we can buy. Jesus offers freedom from the bondage of selfish desire. Think about that today. In heaven, these desires will be gone completely. And in the here and now, do you know, we can enjoy seeing their hold over us loosened. Right now, today, we can start enjoying being set free from the oppression of materialism. And so, finally, Jesus tells us that we have to give up the pursuit of earthly riches, of money. In doing this, we're taking a massive step towards freedom. There's far more for us to learn from Jesus. The manual for life from the Creator doesn't stop just here, but perhaps this is where it starts for you. Stop chasing earthly riches. Start storing up heavenly treasures. Turn away from the pursuit of worldly rewards and turn towards the Creator of life with eternal rewards. If you've appreciated this little explanation of the Jesus way for life, please think about subscribing and recommending to your friends. God bless.